In this video, I'm going to be outlining two games, one of them called NIM, and the other one which is this Tic-Tac-Toe. I'm just going to abbreviate that as TTT. Just a quick summary of the rules of the games. NIM is played with a number of objects, number of sticks. We usually start with 21, and you're allowed to take 1, 2, or 3 sticks at each turn. And the person who takes the last stick loses. So, for example, player 1 might take 3, and that brings it down to 18. Player 2 may take 2, and then it gets 16. Player 1, say, keeps taking 3, 13, and then say 11 for player 2, taking 2, and then taking 3 again. We have 8, and then that's taking 3, and taking 2, let's say, brings you down to 6. Taking 3 brings it down to 3, and then player 2 finally only takes 2, takes 2, and so we're left with one object, and player 2 wins. Okay, Tic-Tac-Toe is played on a 3x3 grid. Players alternate X's and O's, and 3 in a row wins. Okay, so player 1 goes X, and then player 2 goes O, player 1 goes X, player 2 goes O, player 1 goes X, player 2 badly goes O, and then player 1 does an X, and that's 3 in a row. And if there are no moves, then you actually have a stalemate. All right. So these are two-player games. They vary in their in their rules, and now I'm going to outline how you might program these. We have to write out an outline. So we'll start off with kind of setting the player to player 1. Okay, and we're going to be alternating those. We need to set the initial state. Okay, and for Tic-Tac-Toe, the initial state is an empty board. And for NIM, it's the number of objects. N equals 21, say. And we'll talk more about how to make a board as a series of numbers, but one way to do that is simply have a list of 9 numbers to say what the different pieces are. 1 for X, 2 for O, and 0 for empty. So then we end up with 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, just as a list. Okay, so now we're going to pretty much repeat. So we need to essentially get a move, and actually, I would say get this move. I actually need to get a valid move in order to play, and then from this move, I'm going to update the state. So from the current state to the new state. So this is the new state. That would be update state. So the move in these cases, in the case of NIM, is just a 1, 2, or 3. In the case of Tic-Tac-Toe, it'll be a number of the board position, 1 to 9, or possibly 0 to 8, depending on how you're numbering them. Then we update the state, and then we check to see, we kind of get the win status. Kind of what I call the win status, which can be a win, it can be a lose, or it can be a stalemate. And that pretty much, if it's a win or lose or stalemate, that ends the game. Otherwise, if it's none of those, then we switch players. And then, so basically 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 1. And then we go back up to the beginning of the get valid move and so on. And if you think about it, this is the generic outline for any two-player game, whether it's chess, checkers, anything. There may be some slight differences in how you handle some things. Maybe you can think of a game that doesn't quite follow this outline. It'd be interesting to know.